We got a little learning to do here, but it was an unfortunate accident, but we're just happy to be back.
What does it feel like when you watch these pictures? Is that you in the car, or is that some other guy?
Well, that's me, but, I'm kind of glad they got the video. It gives me something to watch and learn from maybe, but and see how the safety equipment held up, and, everything did its job. The car stayed in one piece, and it was just an unfortunate deal that the gloves attached themselves to the steering wheel, which, was no way Simpson's fault on the gloves. The gloves were still perfect shape. They just, the foam
flag. He was outside the front row when the race started, took the lead immediately from the pole sitter Russ Gamester. We got a spin right here on the main
out the leader. That was Tony Stewart that ran into him, the lap car coming off of there, and that's Jay Drake in the 17 car that got
lead back. Well, he'll be the big story in a moment. First, it's Donnie Adams lapping traffic. Mike Zeider and Heat Tango. Adams led the first 9 laps and then hit the fence. Everybody and his dog got involved in this one. Bruce Roby upside down, length to the front straightaway. By now, it's surely over, right? Wrong. Roby slides to a stop. Cameraman says, "Oh, wait, who's this coming?" That's Jason McCord.
Robbie Stanley tried very hard to make all that speed up in one car. Look at that.
Stanley upside down.
Oh my gosh.
Sliding upside down on the roll cage through turn 3. The red flag is out. Stanley, you can see the cage doing its job as the sparks fly off the car.
It does look like Rick Mears did exactly the same thing in that Indy car, but he got up over a wheel.
Here's the black 31. Look at him. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Right together the racetrack, and they are together, literally. And upside down is Robbie Parrish. 2 other drivers to the inside to avoid them. We saw Mike Mason in the red 7 go by on the inside. You call that what, your Tommy tip over?
That was about as close to a Tommy tip over as you can get on a fast racetrack like that.
We actually have 2 9 cars in the race. The first 9 car on the inside. Oh, a little contact there. Stan Fox is in the wall. Stan Fox hard into the wall. And you were riding with him as it happened. There is Fox moving around in the cockpit. He climbs out. Heavy damage to the Steve Lewis performance racing car. We were riding with Stan Fox.
There were 3 race cars going 3 abreast into that first corner, and there just wasn't enough room for everybody. As they got to the corner, everybody seemed to be entering the corner okay, but Dryden just entered a little bit lower and went right down across the front end of Kenny Irwin. And Kenny Irwin hit him, went right up in front of Stan Fox. And look at this. This is almost identical to the way he hit the fence. Ooh, boy, he really got up in the air right there. Thank goodness for good safety fences.
Yeah, he did go over. He did go over. Right on top of the cage. That's why we had the roll cage. We've had the roll cage since about 1969. Kenny Irwin is very unhappy. He's back. Now, remember the altercation I talked about before? You said he'll remember it if this happens. The white of the yellow 77 of Chet Phillip, a car of his own design. That's that Tex-Mex chassis.
Oh, somebody spins right in front of him.
And a big mess with about 4 or 5 cars involved. And you were riding in the cockpit when it happened. And there's still some...
They're still crashing back there in the back. There's 6, 7 cars all involved in this thing. Tracy Hines, you can see he's stuck up against the wall. That's a tough break for him. He's not going to get his win. I think that's the 29 car of Bentley Warren down there against him.
There's the crew, the car owner and the crew of the 37 car. It looks like Kading's headed back to the pit lane, so he may...
We got a wreck.
Problem over in turn 3. Mark Dismore side by side, end over end. And then Jack slides back into him.
Racing at Winchester, Indiana. Going to turn number 1, Travis Wellpot, David Bridges right behind him. J.D. Turner comes up, gets into Bridges, turns around. Matt Estep takes evasive action, gets in the wall, gets upside down, crashes into the infield, shakes him up, but he'll be all right.
Eddie Horn were fighting it out for 3rd with 4 laps to go when Horn drove too deep into 3 and ran over Saccone's rear wheel. After bouncing off the wall, Horn's car came to rest in the middle of the track, where it was drilled by Mel Kenyon. When it became evident that Horn was critically injured and the rescue efforts would take some...
I don't have any recollection of that. They said I have a broken hip and a fractured skull and a lot of bruises.
Yeah, certainly got upside down. All right, here's the replay.
There he got on the bottom, got a little bit sideways, headed a right straight back up towards the fence, and caught the fence with the right rear. He got the front end in. Once that front end digs in, it's pretty hard to keep it on all 4. He got up on the fence, did a little pirouette on the roll cage. That thing bounces pretty hard on the roll cage the next time down, comes back down the racetrack, sliding along, and just tips right on over, back on its...
A couple of weeks ago, and a burn right foot. Oh, there's a spin right in the middle of the racetrack. A car upside down.
And that is the number 44 of Ed Carpenter. Man, there's never an easy over accident, but that wreck was somewhat cushioned despite all the damage to the front of that race.
Bad luck, evidence this crash at Winchester, while at the same time developing a new motor.
Well, it's been real frustrating. You know, everybody's
talking about him a lot as the night wears on here. And for those of you watched on Flow, you know that this is not normal. For the folks in the grandstands, oh, trouble. Hamilton up in the wall, big, going down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. So the yellow flag is going to wave as soon as we talk about him, the entire right side.
Malcolm Lovelace turns the wrenches in that car. A solid 5th place run. Got one upside down.
That's going to be the 11 of Nathan Bird. Yeah, great shot here from the speed shot. One more time here. About 7th, 8th, that back part of the top 10, and I think he tags the wall.
Wow.
And comes down in front of traffic, and that's what causes him to get up and down.
There you go. There's the look.